there, and hello everybody, and welcome to the Love City Arts podcast and television show. I'm Andre in the Flow, and this week we're joined by Patrick Henry Morris. He is a singer, sound healer, teacher, and self-proclaimed friend from Austin, Texas. I saw his awesome social media posts that were filled with light and love, and of course that's part of what we're building here in our community, and had to have him on. Thank you so much, Patrick, for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here, Andre.
This is a blast. We're going to have fun. So tell us about how you are creating this singing and sound healing in the world.
Well, I have been singing for a really long time. I joined the church choir when I was 6 years old, and I sang in that until I was a teenager, at which point is when I came out and I was shunned from that community, which was like all I had ever known. So it created a lot of questions inside me about everything in regards to my music, my sound, and my spiritual practice and what I believed in. And I left at that point and didn't sing for, I want to say, almost a decade.
Wow.
And questioned everything and went on this really wild journey. And I have recently come back into utilizing my gifts and realizing that I am worthy and I have things to share after listening to a lot of people that I believed that said a lot of incorrect things that I believed. So that whole process is really, I think, made what my voice is today. You can hear, I think that's what people connect with. You can hear the pain and also the process in my voice. And that's how it's almost like alchemy. Like I use my music, it's healing to me. Every note that I sing just pulls those pieces of my heart that got spread out through the world and pulls them and makes it one again and puts it back together. And people connect with that. And that's what I also connect with, artists that I love. Like you can hear the emotion and feel the feeling, what they're trying to convey. And that helps me and helps other people. And if I'm helping one other person, myself included, then I'm doing something right.
Absolutely.
So I'm trying to do as much of that as possible now to anyone who will listen to me.
That's so cool. I didn't know about your connection with church and faith and spirituality. I mean, I have a similar story in that I felt exiled from the church when I came out as a queer person, and I felt like there was no room at the end. Like I couldn't express in the same spaces that I wanted to express in. What has it meant for you coming home back to your gift?
It's meant everything, because I really, when I left and I felt, because my church community was my family. And when I left that, I really was devastated, and I thought I wouldn't sing ever again. I stopped believing that I even had the gift. And to be able to come back around full circle and be using that again, like I'm at a point in my life, I've been through a lot, but I'm literally grateful for every breath that I can draw into it. So anytime that I'm singing, I'm in that space. I can't believe that I'm able to do it. And I'm overwhelmed with gratitude anytime that I'm able to use the gifts that I've been given. So it means the world to me.
What made you come back? Was there a specific situation that happened? Was there like a cloud that came out of the sky? Was it a Maserati that was bumping some music? Like, what?
That's a fun story. Okay. I can give you like the Cliff Notes version.
We're here for it.
Okay. So when I left the church, I went on this spiritual journey. I was very agnostic. I was questioning everything. I didn't know if I believed in God. I didn't know what I believed. I felt very alone and lonely. But for some reason, there was always this, and I think I've always had it. I've always been a seeker, like seeking out the truth. People didn't really like me as a child because I questioned everything. I wasn't easy to just tell what to do because I was like, why? Explain that to me. I've always been very inquisitive. So I started just researching all kinds of spiritual traditions. Like you name it, I've studied it. And I studied meditation and Buddhism. I have a Buddhist teacher that I study with in Austin, who I've been studying with for about 8 years.
I love it.
And through that process and meeting her, I've done a lot of retreat practice, and I had an opportunity to go live at a Buddhist monastery for 2 months. And I worked in an organic garden, like for my room and board, and I ate delicious, healthy meals every day, and I did a lot of meditation and practice. And they're the abbess of the monastery. It's a Vietnamese Buddhist monastery.
I was going to ask you, what tradition is it in? What lineage?
So it's Thich Nhat Hanh's lineage.
Yeah.
So it's at Blue Cliff Monastery in upstate New York.
Yes, Blue Cliff. I love Blue Cliff. Okay, I see you.
So Sister Tanium, which means Sister True Vow, is the abbess there, and she is like the Vietnamese version of Tracy Chapman. Like her voice, just like she would have been huge. It's like she had all the star quality. She's wearing monk robes and has a shaved head, and I connected with her a lot when I was there. And she would get up at like 5:30 before everyone would meet in the meditation hall and practice singing the chants and their music that she would create for the monastery. And she invited me to come, and it was all harmony. And so that was the first time I had sang in years. And I looked forward to it every morning. I couldn't wait to get up and like go sing. And we would miss breakfast, and she would say cute things like, "Oh, it's okay. We're being fed in a different kind of way." And it was so true. I was so full from this joining my voices and like the harmonics pinging. And it just, I was brought to tears every time in that little circle. It was like 4 or 5 of us. And during that, we had this meeting, and we had talked about, my journey and how I'd left the church and I'd been studying Buddhism. And she said, well, she was like, Christianity, that's your root tradition. Have you ever thought about going back? And in my head, I was like, hell no. Like,
you're like, why would I do that? Like,
why would I do that? And she said, there's a lot of people who need to hear what you've learned through your other paths and the truth that you know in your heart. It doesn't have to do with what tradition you were brought up in. Everyone can benefit from that. Have you ever thought about bringing that back to the church and helping it heal? Because you were shunned because it needs help healing. So how about you bring that back? And at the time I was like, you're crazy. I'm not doing that. But for something just is a guiding force in my life and led me back to the church. And I happened to just pick one that was non-denominational and affirming for all people. And it was a unity church.
I love unity.
Yeah,
yes.
So it's the best. And so I went to church one Sunday, and they started singing, and the band was just so good. And they were harmonizing just like so beautifully. And I was singing along, and I got really into it. And the woman next to me was, after church let out, she was like, you need to go. She was like, see the woman that was playing piano? Her name's Sharon. You need to go talk to her. She's the music director. She wants to talk to you. And I was like, okay, so lady. And then
you got basically like, what do you call it? Like picks up like A&R representation in the church.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. She was like, yeah, recruited. She was planted. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay. I also was like, no, thank you. And completely scared and terrified. But I went to walk out, which is what I wanted to do. But some reason my body went the other way and went straight up to Sharon and was like, hi, I'm Patrick. And I hear you want to talk to me, and you want me to sing with you guys. And she invited me back the next week. She was like, come rehearse. We rehearse right before the service at 11. And if you're jamming out with us and you really enjoy it, then just stay up there and sing with us. And if you're not feeling it, then just go sit down and enjoy the service. And so I went back the next week, and I've been singing with them ever since. So that was like about 3.5 years ago.
Wow. Unity churches are the churches that have like the chalice circles, and you can do like your joys and sorrows, and you can leave them in the front. I think I went to like a place like that out west when I lived.
Yeah, so it's a New Thought church, so there's a lot of positive affirmations, and they teach from all kinds of different traditions. They, their whole creed is that their religion is oneness and kindness. That's what they believe in. And I've met nothing but like Christ-like people, just angels walking the earth who just embody the teachings, like just high spiritual teachings. It's just like in them. and they're so loving, and just being in that space is so inspiring to come from a place where I was basically kicked out and shunned for being who I was, to have that community accept me for who I am. And so much more of me has come out because of that acceptance. It's beautiful to watch. I can't believe everything that's happened.
What parts of you have come out to shine over this experience?
I just my ability to connect with people in a way, because I feel like a lot of my life I spent being a victim, and I had a lot of tragedy in my life, and I had these horrible experiences, and I was trying to rectify, like, what does that mean? Why did I have to have these experiences? Why do I feel like I'm always like suffering? I used to say out loud, which I don't anymore, because I believe in the power of the word, like, that if it's going to happen, it's going to happen to me. And I meant that in like a negative way. Like, something's always happening to Patrick.
Like the other shoe is always going to drop.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, it's going to be a hot mess if I'm involved.
Oh, so, wow.
But I realize now that because since I have made sense of what goes on in my life and my experiences, and started to utilize what I've learned through that process, it's helped me connect with so many people, and people like seek me out. They confide in me very quickly, and they feel at ease around me. And I don't know why that is, but I know it is my purpose to witness that in other people, because there have been so many instances over and over where I can look at someone after they tell me something devastating about themselves that they're struggling with, and I can say, I know how you feel, and you're going to come back from that. And you're going to be okay, and you're going to be better because of it. Despite what you went through, because of what you went through, you're going to be so much more beautiful and whole, and be able to understand all these other people that are going through that, and just getting rid of that isolation, and really feeling that connectedness in everyone else's suffering. Because, it's two sides of the same coin. It's beauty and also pain. It's together, and you can't have one without the other.
That's it.
So I feel like that's the best gift I could ever have, like knowing that is my purpose.
I'm not sure what they call it in Thich Nhat Hanh's tradition, but the ability to hold space with people and kind of see them in their suffering, but then also see them as whole, which I think is what you're saying is one of the greatest gifts you can give a person.
Yes, true compassion and loving kindness, it encompasses the whole.
Yes, Metta. Come on. Come
on. Come through, Metta.
Come through, Metta. Come through. In your day-to-day life, like how are you sprinkling compassion and metta in those Austin streets, and how does sound healing play into that?
Yeah, that's interesting you say that, sprinkling, because I really feel like I do that. I don't necessarily right now have like a huge platform, but I feel like my work is connecting with the day-to-day people that I interact with on a very mundane level.
That's your platform, though. That's your platform.
That is my platform. Just I don't know why. I see somebody and I know what to say to them that would be helpful. And I think it's because I see pieces of myself in everybody. I feel like a little piece of me belongs to all of them, and so I'm able to relay, things to them that would be helpful in that moment. I don't know why I can do that either. It's another gift that I'm grateful for. But I'm just doing that, and I feel like a secret truth ninja. That's what I like to call it.
Secret truth ninja?
Secret truth ninja.
Like being able to just cut through with your stars and stuff, like all the bullshit.
Yes. Yeah, and that's the thing, is like I can see bullshit from a mile away. You can't fool me anymore. Right. So it makes me a really cool person to be around, and also really annoying.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Because my face is like, don't know about this, and then you know exactly what question to ask that kind of like bursts the bubble. And so, yeah, I've been listening to some Muji Baba and also Ram Dass all week, and Ram Dass has been talking about these agreements that people make, like I will agree to see your somebody if you'll agree to see my somebody, and we pretend that we're both somebodies. And I'm not playing any of those games anymore in life. Like, I'm not wanting to be like somebody or a special person. I just gonna want to show up just as I am. And sometimes that's good, right? And sometimes that's bad. Like,
True that. So this is, I mean, what you see is what you get. This is who I am. So, take it or leave it.
What is bringing love into your life these days? What's fueling your love and your passion? Who do you love? What do you love?
Oh man. I don't have a lot of acquaintances, but I love my chosen family. I have such a good support network of friends that have just been there for me over the years and have just really lasted, that I connect with on a very deep level and who keep me going. And so they're really my support. I don't have that same connection with my blood family, and that's okay, because that has really taught me how to rely on myself and also to rely on God and to not be codependent in ways that I have been in the past. And I love my dog. His name is Scotty.
what kind of dog is Scotty?
He is, we're not really sure. He's a Schnauzer mix with something. He's your quintessential rescue mutt, and he is everything to me. He's my best friend.
I love that.
Yeah, and so I love him, and I love the simple things in life. I love a good warm glass of tea, and I love singing and expressing myself in good conversations. I'm horrible at small talk. I have no interest in that. I just really love connecting with it, with anyone. That's really what I think that love is, that connection between two people.
It's so good. I call it that thin golden cord that just flows within us all, It's great. It's great. Tell me about so beyond the story that you told us about your coming out experience with the church and in faith-based communities. Like, was there a time in your life when you were really, 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 really down as an artist, and somehow you found a way to dig out?
Well, I think that would have to be at the time I think of that is when I was down as an artist, is when I didn't really know I was one. And that would be when I didn't know that
you were one?
Yeah, I didn't know I was one. I literally just figured that out.
Like, when you say you just figured that out, what are you talking, like day before yesterday? Like,
yeah, I literally, I just accepted it probably. Like, I'm talking months, even though I've been, singing and expressing myself in that way. I didn't believe anybody when they would give me feedback, and I just kept doing it because it made me feel good. But now I know, like I used to say, maybe I love music so much. Maybe I was a musician in a former life, and I now have realized that I am one this life, and that is my calling and what I'm here to do, and to make that music. But it is a very recent development.
I love it for you. And who's to say that there's a timeline on when, I think that the moment that you say, I am, fill in the blanks, that's when the universe starts like chasing you with it, right?
And you can say that again, because since I've become intentional about sharing more, and those opportunities, they are just showing up at my doorstep. It is effortless. And I feel like that's also synonymous with the first time in my life that I've been able to let go of control and quit trying to organize all the little pieces of my life to make it pan out in the way that I see fit, because my dream and what I think of it's never my reality. That's not how life works out. And so I've wasted a lot of time trying to get all of those ducks in a row when I should just sit back and ride the wave. And it's just showing up, and it's so beautiful. Like I could cry daily how grateful I am that God has just shown up for me and blessed me in so many ways.
Yeah. So good. So good. What would you say to the artist? And I think you just said it, but I want to center and zero in on the artist that's viewing and listening that feels like they can't step into their creative calling. What would you tell them, given your experiences that you've shared?
I would tell them that whether they feel powerful and confident enough to be that artist and to put themselves out there doesn't change the fact that they are a beautiful creator. It doesn't, and their art is going to be expressed in the way that it's needed in the world at the time that it's needed. So if they don't feel that they're able to step out there, they should know that they have that inside them, because we all do. We all have the same potential, and that it will come out eventually. and that no matter who they are, if they're creating something, which is all of us, usually, we all have a talent,
Yes.
then they're doing something right. And just that whole process in itself, like, do it for yourself, you know, and then other people are going to appreciate it if you use it to heal yourself and to make yourself feel good. So if you have that talent, express it, because someone's going to appreciate it, and you're going to change someone's life because of it, and yourself, most importantly.
Wow. I want to talk lastly about what it means for you. You said that you were a singer, sound healer, teacher, and friend. What does it mean for you to be a friend?
It means to be a witness. I kind of talked about this earlier, just to see people for who they are in their wholeness, and to again, to reiterate, to let them know that they're needed here. Like, there is a need for so many people. I think that there's like this, for all the things that are happening in the world and politically and wars, and there's so much pain, there's a need for people to feel that love that's within them. And there's a need for every person. I don't care who you are. I mean, there is just a purpose for everyone. And the fact that I spent a long time trying to figure out what my purpose was. And then I figured out that I am breathing. I have breath in my body. I woke up today. That is my purpose. I'm living. Like, my purpose is to take another breath and take another step, and to have another experience. That is my purpose. So if you're wondering what your purpose is, you have one, because you're breathing and you're alive right now. So, do whatever makes you happy. Go and do that and share it with somebody.
So good. So good. Wow. 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 This is wonderful, Patrick Henry Morris. I thank you for being here. You just dropped nuggets and drop the mic, the Obama mic drop. Yes, so good. I always end every episode with 3 fill in the blanks. Before I give you the fill in the blanks, I want to give you an opportunity to tell people about the moves that you plan to make. Where do you see things unfolding for you over the next few months, and what can they check out from you?
Well, I definitely want to be intentional about recording music. I don't really have anything recorded right now. Most of the work that I do is live, and people always ask me where they can find my music, and then I report back that you can't yet, but that is coming. So I hope to be very intentional about that soon, having something nailed down that that I can use to make myself better and share with other people. So that is coming. And then I am working on getting set up to lead retreats of my own, where I teach sound healing and meditation, yoga, and then I'm also super into Krav Maga right now, and I would like to be going to be a certified instructor one day in that. What did you just call me? Krav Maga.
What is that?
It's not MAGA. It's an Israeli hand-to-hand combat fighting system that was invented in the 30s in Israel to combat Nazis. So it's basically
bring that on. Bring that.
Yes, which is very relevant in today's world. So
bring that. Yeah. I'll take the Krav Maga, the Ma Maga, the Pa Maga. I'll take all of it. I'll take it all. Good. And where can people follow you on social media?
You can follow me on Instagram and on Facebook, and my name is Patrick Henry Morris. Don't forget it.
They won't. They won't. You're definitely a light. Here are your 3 fill in the blanks. Love is.
Love is being a witness to the connection that is within and between us all.
Joy is.
Joy is gratitude in expression, springing forth and in wonderment. My friend Marissa always says wonderment. I love that word.
I think that is a fun word.
It is, it's wonderful. It's awe and excitement and enjoyment all wrapped into one. Wonderment, joy.
Love it. And then freedom is.
Freedom is letting go. Freedom is not setting down the chains you've been carrying around for so long. And it's a lot more subtle than you would think. It's really just setting that down and realizing that you are entitled and is your inheritance to be completely relaxed, at peace, and a capable person for moving forward in the world, no matter what should be thrown at you.
Woo! All right. Thank you so much for being our example today. My cup, as we would say in our traditions, our pastor traditions, my cup runneth over.
Runneth over.
Runneth
I was
over.
just singing a song about that this morning.
It's so good, so good. I'm very grateful that you've been here.
Thank you for having me, Andre. I really had a great time.
Thank you. Thank you.